The Cowboys don't seem too concerned that they don't have Dak locked up to a long-term deal, despite reports that he will not be participating in off-season activities. When asked about the negotiation process, Jerry Jones said, quote, "When we're ready to play, he'll be there." So, Shannon, what does this quote tell you about where these negotiations are heading?
They're in the exact same place. And I told Skip they were heading this franchise tag, and Jerry seems to be emboldened now. Everybody's patting him on the back and telling what a great draft he had. And Jerry, you should do all the drafts from your yacht. You had such a slam dunk. You had a grand slam, knocked it out of the park with these draft picks. So he's feeling emboldened. And when it comes time to play, he'll be there. This is what we have on the table. He can take it or leave it. And he and Steven started sowing these seeds a couple of what do they call it, Skip? Combines ago. You know, Dak needs to give us a break, and he needs to work with us, yada, yada, yada. Sowing poisonous, trying to paint. If Dak doesn't sign the deal that we're offering, he's selfish. He's not about winning championships. And Dak says, look, I've given you a discount. The first 3 years of this contract, the first 4 years of this contract was the discount. Now I'm here to come that balloon payment. It's come due. Now I'm going to get my money. And if I have to hold out to get it, now I don't anticipate him missing games, but he might. And a lot of things happen when you go through tragedy. Now, I don't know the last conversation he and his brother had, but I know his brothers are very, very close to him, and they do almost everything together, and they're a big part of him. Now, his brother might have said, Dak, you need to stick in, hey, stick to your guns. And I believe if he said that, Dak's going to stick to his gun. If that means missing a few games, he'll miss a few games. But, Jerry, you need to do right, because the thing that's Dak not going to do is what Scottie Pippen did. Scottie Pippen signed a contract, and after 2 years, it was obsolete, and they wouldn't renegotiate. Dak is not going to get caught in that same situation. He's going to do a deal that 3 or 4 years out, this deal is still a damn good deal. And so Dak, Skip, is coming to a crescendo. You know what's happening, Skip. You see it. You know what's going to happen. You know it. You might not admit it, but you know what's happening is coming down the pipeline.
Okay, first point of order. Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the Bulls, tried to talk Scottie out of signing that contract. He just flat out said, this is a bad deal for you. Don't sign it. Scottie said, no, I need the upfront security. And he signed it. Well, now the joke's on him. The onus is on him to live up to the rest of the contract, and he did not want to live up to it. It did get rendered obsolete almost overnight. I got you. This is very different than that. And God bless Dak going through his grieving of his older brother, Jace. I got you on that. I have no idea what Jace told him. I don't know how that's going to play going forward. I only know that this negotiation had already stalled before Jace passed. And it sounds like it's going nowhere slowly as we speak. And Jerry's comment to me was ominous, because he basically said, when it's time to play the first game, he'll be there. That's all you got? He'll be there for the first regular season real game, the first game that counts? That's where we are. And obviously, Shannon, you would like to see this get uglier and uglier because you do not like the Dallas Cowboys. I respect that. I get that. But I have to navigate that here on the show. You are rooting openly for Dak to hold out and screw up next year's team, make it virtually impossible for next year's team to be as good as it can be. Yes, there's a lot of new momentum off that draft, and Jerry did knock it out of the park. And when CeeDee Lamb fell into their laps, they had him 6th on the board, and he fell to 17. I was ecstatic because life changed, because I told you I'm not great with giving Amari Cooper $100 million off his performance on the road last year. He did tap out at the Jets, and at the Patriots, he quit. He pouted. I can't get open on Stephon Gilmore. Stop it. Then you're not worth $100 million. It got so bad against the Eagles, Jason Garrett yanked him. He thought he was running his routes half-heartedly. He finally said, we can do better. I'll put Tavon in. Tavon Austin down the stretch was in place of Amari Cooper. And once again, we had to see him standing on the sidelines, wide-eyed, blinking, like, what just happened? Now you've got a new candidate to be your number one receiver in CeeDee Lamb. He's a stud. He's an alpha. He's a one. He might emerge as the one ahead of Amari, but he's going to lift Amari's game, especially on the road. Amari's going to be saying, wait a second, he's rising and shining. He's the first-round pick. I better try to live up to that. So I love CeeDee's presence, what he's going to bring, his value to the receiver room. He's going to up the energy and the electricity in that room. He is a playmaking, big game, big play receiver. He goes up and catches the football wherever it is. So Dak, new momentum. You have a new toy. You have a new weapon. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that weapon. You do. And you still have Zeke, and you still have Gallup, obviously, I didn't mention, and you still have a top 5 offensive line. So it's time for you as the leader of this team in the face of this franchise to compromise a little bit. I still believe that you and your agent, Dak, went out of bounds with your demands. I believe it became unrealistic. I believe that, as I've said before, I had a source tell me your agent is, quote unquote, overplaying his hand. So you need to rein it back in a little bit, Dakota Prescott. You need to say, okay, let's compromise this much because I do have 12 national TV commercials because I'm the quarterback of America's team. There's a time when you have to come to grips with, don't sacrifice the team for your greed, because I think it's become greed, because I think you're asking for beyond Mahomes money. There's a time when you say, I can't sacrifice winning for negotiating. There's a time to say, let's move a little closer to the middle because it's still great money and we'll be okay because I still get my TV commercials and I still have a lot to prove in this league. He's 1-2 in the playoffs as Dak Prescott. He did make some key plays last year for the first time in his career, and they went 8-8. I don't know that he has the bargaining power that Patrick Mahomes has right now. Mahomes was great again last year, and they won the Super Bowl. Okay? So I'm sorry. He can make very good money, but I don't think he deserves great money yet in his career.
I do. But here's the thing, though, Skip. Now, you said Jerry Reinsdorf told Scottie Pippen not to sign the contract, and he did. Now you're saying Jerry Jones is telling Dak to do this contract, and he should. Oh, so now I'm trying to figure out, why is it only the player that sacrifices winning? What about the team? They're sacrificing winning because they're putting their bottom line in front of winning. Dak Prescott says, I've done what you've asked me to do. I've exceeded whatever your expectations were of me. I've exceeded them. Now you want me to compromise. And if I don't compromise, I'm being selfish. Well, Jerry, you're being selfish because you're putting your bottom line wanting to win in front of bottom line of wanting to win this deal against me in front of the team. Give me my money because, like you said, there's a new influx. There's a new game coming. There's a new TV money coming. And Dak Prescott says, I'm not going to get caught like Scottie Pippen. That was a good deal at the time, but Jerry Reinsdorf knew the new TV money was coming. Just like Jerry does, Todd France and Dak also knows it. So I'm not signing a bad deal. I'm going to get $80 million fully guaranteed with about 160 over the next. Yeah, $160 million, and I want 80 of it fully guaranteed. Guaranteed. Yes.
You are daring to compare what Jerry has offered Dak to what Jerry Reinsdorf told Scottie not to sign? It's absurd. It's ludicrous. It's asinine, 10, 11, 12, and 13. It's impossibly wrong to compare those two situations.
Skip, here's the thing. Scottie's like, I got to sign this contract because that's guaranteed money. No matter what transpired, I'm going to get all that money. Are you telling me when is the NFL contract? The only fully guaranteed contract I've ever heard of was Kirk Cousins. He got 3 years, $84 million, fully guaranteed. That is the only contract. So until I hear, I'm not Skip. I don't care nothing about no $35 million a year. I don't care about 150. I don't care about 200. Until we know what the fully guaranteed numbers are, clearly they're not to Dak and his agent's liking. Until they get to that liking, if I'm Dak, I'm like this. I'm like a kid. I'm a spoiled brat. I'm my arm folded, my mouth stuck out, and I ain't signing the deal. Now what?
Spoken like a true Cowboy hater. Now, back to what's on the table. You have no idea what's on the table, and nobody has any idea just how much Dak and new agent are demanding. I think it's beyond $40 million. I think they want it all guaranteed, and I believe the deal on the table from Jerry would immediately make Dak the #1 paid quarterback in the league, only until Mahomes signs, and then he'll be the #2 paid quarterback. That's a fair deal. He should compromise to the point of, okay, I'll still take second best money to Patrick Mahomes, and trust me, most of it is going to be guaranteed. You know it, and I know it.
Big in, big no.
Stubborn over
big
there,
in,
Shannon.
big no.
That's what you're doing. All right. I'm moving on from Dak. I want to move over to the AFC. Will the Browns dethrone the Ravens in the AFC North? We debate next.